Good afternoon everyone and welcome to today's webinar. It's Mike that's going to be going through today's session. We do have Ollie on the live chat, so if you've got any questions throughout today's webinar, we'll be on hand to help and answer anything that you may have. And we're sticking around for a little bit at the end as well, so if you don't want to ask while we're ongoing, just ask at the end. So what we're going to be covering today in today's session is stock reporting, the different options you do have within Prima for stock reporting. Because there are a couple of different ways and a couple of different things that you can report on. So that's what we're going to be covering. So we've got three main reports that we want to focus on. The first, the two of them have the same name but have a different function depending on what information you're looking for. And then the last one is all dependent upon reorder level analysis, reorder levels. So if you use reorder levels, then that may be the report for you. To make some sort of decisions on. So the first one will be the stock valuation, and this one will be the actual PDF report. So there's two types. There's a PDF report and there's a spreadsheet report, but we're going to be focusing on the PDF report to start off with. So to find the report, if you go into reporting reports on the left hand side, and then the PDF valuation is under standard report, and then it's just a stock valuation report here. So if you double click it, it will open. I've already opened it just to save a little bit of time, because there is a lot of information stored within here. But what this report will show you is basically all of your depots. So if you've got more than one depot, it will report on all your depots. And then basically, first couple of pages will be the status of your stock. So when it comes to this report will mainly be used for, say, month end, year end, reporting on the actual value of your stock. So it will give you some figures, but it won't be necessarily something you want to report on, like how much you hold of a certain item. It's all about the value of these items. So the first couple of pages will look at the status. So, what's allocated, they're waiting to go out, everything that's general stock that is just holding and sitting in your warehouse, and then basically anything that is on a dispatch note and are waiting to go. But as I say, you've got the different depots. So you've got, say, depot HQ. If you've got a couple of warehouses, it will show information per warehouse. You can see and split down the value of your stock in both warehouses or depots, however many you've got. You can see anything that's awaiting return. So if you want to see a value of stock that you have at the awaiting return, you've got all that told within here. And if we keep going, it's just the same information in the first couple of pages. It's all about the basically the locations and the status and everything, and it just shows by classification on those pages. Now the further you go into it, it will give you more of a detailed view, so it'll show you basically the items within those, and if you were you had bin locations, everything set up, it will show you all of that. So there's quite a lot of information in here. You've got lots and lots and lots of pages on here, but it will show the information. So it'll break it down by classification, it will break it down by bin location as well, so you can see the values of the bins and everything within here. Obviously this report won't be the same as what your report will look like, because we may not have bin locations, you may not use bin locations. So have a look at this report, see the information in there, and if you've got any questions about it, the customer care team are on hand to help and go through that with you if you've got any questions. But there's, it's quite a big report, but it will give you the information you're looking for. There's a lot of information in here, so you can look at the types, the products, whatever it is, and it will give you basically a total stock value within the sections. So that's the stock valuation PDF report. Have a play about with it, see what information you find, but that will give you the actual monetary value of your stock, as well as anything that's damaged, awaiting return, etc. So when it comes to year end, month end, this is how you would generate your values. Just to point out, with any of the stock reporting, it isn't necessarily something you can backdate. It's a report that is run at that point. So you can't tell the system, right, I want to see what our stock value was, on the 31st of last month. It's, right, what's my stock value right now? And that's how you will have to run this. So if you use the information we covered in last week's webinar, which is automated reports, you could set this stock valuation report up to run at the end of every month at, say, 6 o'clock. So after you've delivered all your goods and after you've put everything on, this will run and give you your stock valuation at that time. So you can use that for month end and everything like that. So that's a couple of options you've got for actual value, monetary value. And it's on a PDF report. It's nice and easy to look at. So the next report we'll look at is the stock valuation spreadsheet report. So that will show, basically, if we just go into it, I'll just shut this one down. So if we find the report under standard and then spreadsheet, if we click search, we've got stock evaluation within here, so it's maybe in a different order on your database, but it is there. And basically what that stock evaluation report is a spreadsheet report. So it'll contain products, bin locations, quantities, available stock, everything that you may need to report on within stock. So if I just show you this report here, so you double click it, it will open up this report. Now there is a lot of information on here. It will show you basically all lines that you do have in stock. So if you've got quite a lot of stock in the system, it will be a big report. But what you can do with that, you can export it to Excel and manage and manipulate it in here. Or if you want to filter and do other bits, there are some filter options at the top, so you can filter on location. So if you do have bins, you can look, right, I want to look at a specific bin location, say A1, A2, whatever you've got set up. You can use the little filter and sort options within some of the tabs at the top to do that. Obviously you can do it in Excel, you can sum in Excel and do other bits, but you can do some of that within Prima as well before exporting it. So this report will be more used to focus on quantities and count quantities potentially. Now it will show each line as a batch. So if you've got different batches, it will show each batch within here. So you could have multiple lines for one product, but it's because it's showing batch by batch. If you've got any machines, full products, anything like that, it will show an individual line per bit of stock that you've got, because that's how full products work. So you may have multiple lines and entries for products in here, but it's because it shows by batch, and it'll show you the cost price and the current price of that batch. But as I say, this is more for you counting quantities and other bits, and you can do a little bit more manipulation with this than you can in the PDF, because it's a spreadsheet, so you can export it to Excel. You can use formulas, whatever, in Excel to get what you need. If you want to calculate sort of information, you can using that. So it's just a case of clicking the export to Excel button at the very top and doing what you need to do. Within here, you do have multiple different tabs, so you can see basically any stock take lines. You can see values by classification, by product group, warehouse, and classifications. There's a lot of information within there, so it's just basically finding what you need, and I'm sure they'll have the information within here. So that's the stock valuation spreadsheet report. So they are different. They both show the same information, the stock valuation reports, but it's how the information is presented. They both have sort of different use cases depending on what you want to do. So one may achieve what you want compared to the other. So the final report for stock reporting, if I just close this down, is reorder level analysis. So some of our dealers, some of you guys may use reorder level analysis, within your business, especially if you want to maintain a certain level of stock. Basically, it's quite an important feature of your business if you always want to fulfill your orders straight away. So the reorder level analysis is a spreadsheet report, and basically it will show you information surrounding those reorder level analysis, and it'll make suggestions as well at items that you may want to add to the reorder level analysis. So again, this is under standard spreadsheet. You can just hit search, and there's the report here, reorder level analysis, and it's just a case of selecting that and it'll load up the report. And again, it is quite a big report. There's a lot of information in here, but if I scroll right to the very start, it'll show you basically which depots, so you can sort it by depots if you wanted to. Now with this report compared to the stock valuation, it doesn't have the sort and the filter options in by default. So you can edit layout and save a custom copy with those in using the report editor, or you can just export it to Excel and do it within there. It depends on what you prefer to do. If you're only going to be doing it as a one-off, then it may be worthwhile to export it to Excel and do it in there. But if you're always going to be going into here, you may want to edit the layout and put the sort and the filter options in there. So we won't be covering that today, but if you do want to set that up within any of the spreadsheet reports, just let us know and we can talk through in a one-to-one of how to do that and set that up for any reports. But it will suggest basically any sort of new reorder levels, new match reorder levels based on information of ordering, sort of show you basically when the item's been last purchased, how frequently it's been purchased, how many times it's been purchased within the last sort of time frame, current levels. There's a lot of information on here, so you see basically current stock, number of weeks that it's looking at the criteria, how many transactions. It'll show you basically items that potentially are slow moving because there hasn't been that many transactions in the recent time. Obviously, with the database we're looking at, the information isn't particularly great because it's a test database and there isn't as many transactions going on day to day as your databases will be. But in yours, it'll be more relevant information and give you a true figure and a better reflection of reorder levels and suggestions. So that's what these are in here, where you see all the movement options. So how many times the stock's gone out and what have you. Obviously, in this database, it's not there. But in your database, when you're looking at this report, it will be more accurate and give you a better option and a better view. So they're the three reports. So you've got the two stock valuation reports, the PDF report and the spreadsheet report, as well as the reorder level analysis. So those three reports basically cover everything within stock report, and they can be used to report on bin locations, how much stock you're holding bin locations, whatever it might be. To start, a lot of the information is in there, and it's just what you're trying to achieve with the stock reporting. It's basically the thing that you may want to focus on, and depending on what you're looking to achieve is what report you'll look at. So there's a couple of different options there, and that's that. So just to recap, you've got the stock valuation, which is more of a monetary value. That's the report type, the PDF. You've got the stock valuation spreadsheet, which is more for looking at your actual stock levels and different bits. You may want to use that when it comes to stock take to see what you've got in the system. Then you've got reorder level analysis to look and see how your reorder levels are doing, whether it's accurate, whether you need to up, down, change or introduce new reorder levels based off of the transactions within Prima. So they're the three reports that are going to sort of help your stock reporting. If you've got any questions about any that we've covered today, myself and I will be hanging around for a little bit at the end. But if you want to talk through any of these more, if there's something that it may not do that you do need, just speak to the customer care team or email trading@primasoftware.co.uk, and we can sort and schedule some time to discuss any requirements where it comes to reporting surrounding stock, and we can see what we can achieve what you need. But apart from that, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.